The over-reliance on external partners for funding compromises the organization's independence and ability to set its own agenda. A self-reliant African Union is not just a vision we have, it is an imperative to achieve.
So today we are going to take a deep dive into a crucial topic that has the potential to redefine Africa's future: financial independence for the African Union. For far too long, the African Union has relied heavily on external donors to finance its operations, raising questions about its true autonomy and ability to set its own agenda, with African countries like Burkina Faso and its new president Ibrahim Traoré accusing regional bodies like ECOWAS for being compromised based on this very fact of depending on the West to make certain decisions. But now Ghana's president John Dramani Mahama, who shares the unapologetic views of African sovereignty and self-reliance, is taking a bold stand. At a recent African Union Special Summit in Nairobi, Kenya, he delivered a powerful message urging African leaders to take full control of the continent's destiny by ensuring that the African Union achieves financial self-sufficiency and not even one country be left out asking for handouts from the West. His words have actually resonated with many people because they touched on a fundamental truth: no organization in the world can actually be independent if it depends on outsiders for its survival. For Africa to chart its own course, the African Union must break free from financial dependence and stand on its own 2 feet. In this video, we'll break down the key points from President Mahama's speech, the significance of the Kigali decision on financing the Union, and what this could mean for Africa's future. While you think this decision is quite obvious, but not many people got it till Mahama stood up and made the point. And before we begin, don't forget to like this video as it helps it get to more people. Subscribe and also comment below to share your views as we have more insightful discussions on African politics and development. Now let's get started. This particular story begins in Nairobi, Kenya, where the crucial African Union Summit was held to discuss pressing reforms for the organization. The meeting, chaired by Kenyan President William Ruto, focused on accelerating institutional changes within the African Union. One of the most important topics was the issue of financial independence. For years, the African Union has struggled with chronic underfunding, leaving it reliant on external donors such as the European Union, the United States and China to fund critical programs, including peacekeeping missions, development initiatives, and even some of its day-to-day operations. While some of this financial support has helped sustain the African Union's activities, it has also raised concerns about the extent to which external influence shapes the Union's priorities. This is where President Mahama stepped in, delivering a speech that could mark a turning point in Africa's push for self-reliance. With what is supposed to be obvious to the whole Union and some of its members, he made a strong case for why Africa must take control of its own affairs by ensuring the African Union is self-funded. His message was clear: the time for financial dependence should be over. To understand the significance of Mahama's call, let's go back to 2016, when the African Union made a landmark decision in Kigali, Rwanda. The Kigali decision on financing the African Union introduced a 0.2% levy on eligible imports from outside Africa, with the funds directly allocated to the African Union's budget. This initiative was meant to solve the African Union's financial struggle once and for all. The idea was straightforward but revolutionary. Rather than relying on foreign aid, the African Union member states would contribute their fair share, ensuring the Union had the resources it needed to operate effectively. But while the Kigali decision was widely praised as a necessary step towards financial independence, its implementation has been very slow and uneven. Many African countries have yet to fully adopt the levy, leaving the AU still reliant on donor funding. President Mahama emphasized that this delay is unacceptable, which is a fact. He urged the AU member states to honor this commitment, expedite the levy's implementation, and ensure that the African Union is financially empowered to drive Africa's development agenda without external interference. However, Mahama didn't just stop at financial independence. He also stressed that the African Union must change how it manages its financing by adopting principles of accountability, transparency, and efficiency. One of the most compelling aspects of Mahama's speech was his insistence that the African Union resources must be maximized to benefit African citizens. Over the years, the African Union has been criticized for inefficiency, bureaucracy, and even corruption. Critics argue that even if the African Union achieves financial independence, it must also reform how it spends its funds to ensure real impact to the African people. And Mahama's message was direct: Africa cannot afford to waste resources. He called for the establishment of a robust accountability mechanism that ensures every dollar, cedi, franc, and shilling is spent wisely. He urged African leaders to embrace governance systems that promote transparency and efficiency, making sure that the African Union policies translate into tangible benefits for ordinary African citizens. He stressed that financial discipline is not just about securing funds, it's about using those funds effectively to drive Africa's development. Because even with the donor funds, the monies haven't been spent efficiently that helps the African citizens in any way, with many countries not even feeling the effects of the African Union or whatever their decision is. If the AU is to be taken seriously as a powerful continental body, it must prove that it can manage its finances responsibly. And this is what Mahama stated unapologetically with his full chest. So why is the African Union financial independence such a crucial issue? Someone might ask. Here are some key reasons why Mahama's call is more important than ever. It protects Africa's sovereignty. External funding often comes with conditions that may not align with Africa's best interests. By funding itself, the AU can make decisions based solely on what is best for the continent without outside interference. It also serves to strengthen peace and security efforts. Many of the AU's peacekeeping missions rely on foreign funding, which can be unpredictable. A financially independent AU would have the means to respond quickly to security threats and maintain stability across the continent, which is a fact. And it also drives Africa's developmental agenda. Because if Africa is serious about achieving its long-term developmental goals, including the AU's Agenda 2063, then a self-funded AU is essential for success. It also boosts confidence in the African Union. Many Africans see the AU as ineffective, and rightly so, due to its reliance on foreign aid. Financial independence will send a powerful message that Africa is ready to take full responsibility for its future. But Mahama didn't stop at financial independence. He also emphasized the need to empower Africa's youth and women. He stated that Africa is the youngest continent in the world, with over 60% of its population under the age of 25. Yet, as Mahama pointed out, young people are often excluded from decision-making processes. The same applies to women, who remain underrepresented in governance and leadership roles. Mahama called for institutional frameworks that actively promote youth and women leadership at all levels. He argued that Africa's future depends on harnessing the energy, creativity, and innovation of its young people, and ensuring that women have equal opportunities to shape the continent's policies and developments. Because if everybody is represented, equal opportunity goes across the continent and decisions are also beneficial to everyone. His message was clear. Africa cannot afford to waste the potential of youth and women. If the continent is to move forward, it must embrace inclusive governance that gives every citizen a voice. While Mahama's vision is bold and inspiring, the road to the African Union's financial independence and inclusive governance is not without challenges. The political role of the leaders to support this initiative is one of the factors. Many African leaders support the idea of AU self-funding, but will they actually implement it? There are also economic barriers, as some countries argue that the 0.2% import levy could place additional burdens on struggling economies. How will Africa balance financial independence with economic realities? And also, there's the case of corruption and mismanagement. Ensuring transparency and accountability in the AU's operations remain a major challenge. The question is, will African leaders commit to real reforms? Despite these obstacles, Mahama's speech has reignited the debate on the African Union funding and also the governance reforms. The pressure is now on the African leaders to deliver. President John Dramani Mahama's address at the AU summit in Nairobi was a powerful call to action. He made it clear that Africa's future must be determined by Africans and that financial independence is key to achieving true sovereignty. By pushing for full implementation of the Kigali decision on financing the union, advocating for greater transparency, and emphasizing the need to empower youth and women, Mahama has set a bold vision for Africa's future. But words alone are not enough. The real test lies in action. Will African leaders finally implement the changes needed to make the AU truly independent? The answer will shape the future of the continent. Let me know what you think. Can Africa achieve the African Union financial independence? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like this video, comment, and also subscribe for more discussions on Africa's political and economic transformation. Check out this next video on other thought-provoking discussions on African sovereignty and more. Thank you for watching, and on to the next video. Be sure to check this next video out.